when do you think, if you can recall, when is the first time that you met Steve Austin?
I believe it was when he came to the WWE.
Okay. So right around the same time that you did in 96.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that you were with him in WCW in
Well,
92.
I met him briefly there, but I wouldn't really call that a meeting.
Okay. So now when you were in WCW 92, was it like, I know that you were feeling really kind of disenchanted due to the whole Bill Watts situation.
Yeah.
Was it just like, I'm just going to fucking go to work. I don't need to socialize with anybody, or how was it?
I was in the midst of addiction, man, and I was, of course, when the Bill Watts thing, man, that just fueled my addiction. I just wanted to get high and forget about what was going on, you
Yeah.
know, and that was bad on me.
Tough time to be sure, but man, it's Arn Anderson actually just covered it on his podcast, Your Arrival in WCW. And dude, the fan reactions when you're showing up there, like you might not have been feeling your best or super up to the job, but holy smokes, those fans were ready.
Yeah, the fans were ready.
Well, yeah, I know that you weren't exactly on the same page, and I know that in '96, it's you weren't exactly feeling your very, very best, right?
No, in '96, man, I was 40 pounds overweight, and I didn't want to wrestle, but I was forced into it, of course. Amazing how that happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they dangle the carrot in front of you and they let you chew on it a little bit, and then they tell you they need you desperately on the road. Right. Right. And you know what gets me about that
What's that?
is they were still using my ideas and they still wanted me to be a part of the booking thing, but they only wanted to pay me for one of them, either the booking or the shows.
I would venture to guess that you're making more as a wrestler than you would have been as just a backstage personality, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
So it's, man,
But I'm doing both, but I'm only going to get paid for one.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
That's fucked up, man.
It is. Well, Austin is coming in, like I said, right around the same time as you are here in early '96. I mean,
the Ringmaster.
Oh God, just awful, dude.
It's horrible.
I mean, when you're seeing his ring work, though, does it seem
that
like a
was it.
Yeah, it seems like a possibility he could be a big star.
Yeah, even my father told me that Steve Austin had what it took to be a big star. And I said, really? And then I started watching him. And when I watched him, I was blown away. So this fucking guy's got it, man.
Mm-hmm.
My God, they got to do something about this Ringmaster shit. If they had kept him with Ringmaster, he'd have never been Steve Austin.
And like they're kind of trying to like remake the wheel here with him because yes, he was stunning Steve Austin in WCW, but he was still like he was an established star back there. He had a lot of success in WCW.
Yeah, he did. Sure did.
I know that Vince likes to put his fingerprints on shit, but man, some of the stuff they were coming up with. You ever hear that they wanted to name him Chili McFreeze at one point?
Chili McFreeze.
That was a name that they had on like their list of names for Steve Austin.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. And I guess he was going to be like a Batman character, like.
Oh my God.
I mean, so it could have been worse than the Ringmaster.
That's hard to believe.
I know it. Well, by just doubling back to WCW a little bit, by 1995, Austin was frustrated with his spot there. And the narrative has kind of become that Hulk Hogan joined the company in 94 and Hulkamania just overshadowed everything else in the entire company. Allegedly, this is just the story that everyone tells. Hogan's buddies were coming along for the ride, and Austin's getting squashed by guys like Jim Duggan in his debut, losing to Savage, and just being overlooked in general. I know that you weren't there, Jake, but outside looking in, do you think that there's any fire to that smoke?
Yeah, man, they were through with him. They didn't want him there.
Just so hard to believe. Like he'd be fired by FedEx, and then all of a sudden, a couple of years later, he's the biggest star in the entire industry. What a fumble!
That's great. I love it. I love it when shit like that happens.
I'll tell you, guys, they've got to be looking to management at that point. Like the wrestlers, they're like, "Hey, what the fuck are we doing?"
Yeah.